Good evening, and welcome to another Oui Culture. Yes, indeed, it is the 12th day of February 2026, the day before Saraka in La Poetry. Yes, indeed, that's a big thing, and I was quite elated when I heard it as part of the news story, the news this evening. It was one of the main stories in the news. So I was quite elated, and it is good that, that aspect of our culture can be highlighted at that level. And, this is actually what we'll be talking about this evening on the program. So, I think we're in for a treat. Doc is here. I mean, if we have Doc here to talk on Saraka, we need them others, the elite there. Well, so I ain't bothered with them. We just run remote on them, and, me and Doc here, and we good. Two of us go to Tivoli. In fact, if me and Doc don't know about Saraka, them others know about Saraka. Guav never has Saraka, Shanti Mel will forget that. Anyway, guys, we welcome all our viewers on GBN Television, our friends on our Facebook page and YouTube channel, and also listeners on K105 FM. Actually, today it was the track and field meet of the St. Andrews Anglican Secondary School. Yes, the champions of track and fields in Grenada. And when I say champion, I don't mean intercol champion. I'm talking about overall champion. So you don't need a specific meet, for SAS to be crowned or to be named as champion of track and field in Grenada. I mean, the evidence is there. Doc is there. So, Doc, good evening, man. How are you? You're muted. I mean, a man could expatiate sometimes,
Yeah, you start. Good evening to everyone. Good evening to all the listeners and all the various medium. You start with melee.
Well, a man has to expatiate sometimes, what I mean?
Today, of course, Scholar was there too. Anytime you have transport, well, he's good. He's more, does all the running, all the jumping.
Well, of course.
All the throwing.
Oh, definitely. Everything. I mean,
But it kind of brought me back, in time.
Yes.
It brought me in a time when I remember I was trying to play thief.
Yeah.
And you playing police. But also, you brought some names, and I saw Carl Vincent. It was really nice to see Carl Vincent officiating. I think he's the head timer. He brought, Bai was online.
Yeah.
Eugene Liquish, all the great Trevor Modest, Orlando, Walter Simmons, Patrick Simmons. Those names that actually stood on Glider and Christopher, those guys and them.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I know I'm leaving out some names. But it was really good to see, again, to go back there and kind of reminisce. Of course, we met other great persons like Kenneth Alexander and Jeffrey Neptune.
Oh, yes, definitely.
And all those other guys. And Godfrey, there was something I saw that happened in SAR Sports today. And I really, really wanted to commend the organizers. They brought up GBSS to race.
Yes, of course. Yes.
And, in our time, we never had that. The rivalry was such that I don't even think GBSS was going to come to our sport or we were going to go to their sport. But I thought it was such a refreshing thing to see teams from GBSS competing in SAS sport. And I hope maybe, next time, I don't know if it was done this year by GBSS, but, do the honors and likewise.
Yeah.
Apart from that, there were other schools, but the reason why I mentioned GBSS is because of this
The rivalry, yeah, that, yeah, yeah.
Had,
But I'll tell you, this speaks volume, because to me, immediately, what it says to me, it tells you how much track and field has grown, and it has gone beyond just a school competition, but at a national level, when our athletes are striving to be the best for Grenada. That to me is a welcome thing, and I hope that it will continue. Definitely,
yes,
I really hope so.
And you know what's really good about that all of us, we have experience where, that person was demonized. He was demonized. So guys from GBSS, they were the ultimate devil, etc. And then later on, we recognize that, you go and carry the team. You meet in OECS champ, you go other places, and those guys on them are as well, now I can say that, but in SAS it was not always that easy to come to that conclusion. Those guys on them, they had the same kind of feeling, the desire to excel, and they just wanted to do the best. So we were all the same. We were all the same, and then there was no reason for the demonization of any.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, of course, you're competitive, and yes, we want to win. But at the end of the day, we were just all athletes striving, for excellence.
Yeah.
So, and we recognize that after late in our sporting career, but for a school like SAS now to bring up and say, hey guys, come on, just come and showcase your skills in our sport meet, and let people from SAS fans see you. So, there's no need when you go down, you don't have to throw stones, you don't have to be, show any serious animosity, because they want to win, you want to win, and that is it.
And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Once you understand that you will not always win, and the bottom line is trying to be the best you can. I mean, I can recall, and I always, whenever I speak of track and field, I tell people that. I remember the first year I went to the Carifta Games. I wasn't registered to participate in the discus and shot put, but I noticed that the techniques that the guys were using, the Jamaicans were using, was different from what we knew in Grenada. Yeah. And I went and I registered myself because I wanted to learn. That was the spin. So I went to register. I know I probably may not have even qualified for the next round, but my sole intention was to pay attention to what they were doing and learn it, and I did, and I learned it. So sometimes you strive for excellence, and I think when you see that is happening, it shows a maturity in that field of sport. So it's welcome, and I'm really happy to hear that is happening. And I trust that the other schools, even at the primary level, you can have that happening as well.
Yeah.
So definitely. But overall, though, while we're in that, how was the competition among the houses and so the performances?
Figures was in a class for themselves, way above. For matter of fact, there was this thing when you cannot understand why they win that by that amount of points.
Paul, hold on. Pigot House won.
Yeah, we ahead.
And what about Nash House?
Well, the competition was between Nash and Lane. So they keep on.
No, if Nash, let me tell something. If Nash was win the teeth, I mean, straight up. I need to have a word with Carl. Something right. We had to fix that.
Well, I'm going to say the same about Linda. So anyway, it was just this competition. But when I left, I didn't have time to see the last two 4x4s.
Uh-huh.
Nashos was ahead by about 5 points.
Right.
Of Lynn and Julian was at the bottom. But it was competitive. It was a really nice meet. There are a few records, actually about 13 to 14 records got broken.
Wow.
In 5 on the field and the rest on the track.
Oh,
and I thought
excellent.
Yes.
Yeah. And
I saw some really, really nice potential there. And of course, I am wishing that SAS would bring it up again, of course.
Well, no, I'm telling you, when you see that, then you know we're in for another exciting intercall games. Because, the other schools, they're gonna come fighting. GBS is gonna come fighting. McDonald College, presently, they're gonna come fighting. So that will definitely raise the level.
Yeah, and Christian Academy, they have some good athletes lately. Actually, they run a relay, and they beat the GBSS boys.
Oh,
and I
fantastic.
can tell you, the crowd got a treat.
That one, they would, of course.
Because, Christian Academy, we think it's an underdog.
Yeah.
But they have some really, really good athletes now in Christian Academy. I don't know in terms of the depth, but they have a few that is shining. And that again as well, because you have schools that are rated as underdogs, and those schools are actually showing up.
Yeah.
So that is nice.
Yeah. And when
it was not like nowadays. It demands a lot more strategy to win. Before it was like we and maybe GBSS and to a certain extent PBC, but basically SAS and GBSS. But now all the other schools are taking a point here and there. So there's no straightforward you if you beat GBSS you win. No, the other schools are there.
You have to, because what I think that would do also, when you have a couple athletes for from what we might refer to as an underdog school doing well, it also motivates the others. And I think that in itself is very important. So not just the athletes from that school, but from other schools that are probably considered underdogs as well.
Right.
If you have a school probably that, people consider we are in the same kind of category, and they're doing well, we can do well too. So it's a form of motivation, and these things should really be encouraged. So I'm really excited about this. This is really good. Making me want to come out of retirement. But Doc, but seriously, we have time we should come out of retirement and do our thing, and then.
Well, actually, I saw a guy. I don't know if he was from India, 81. And they had the Grandmaster game, and those guys were running 100 meters.
Yes.
And I said, wow, this is so. I think what we do in Grenada, we have a culture of we're practicing to get old. Meaning, we're practicing to get old. So from the time someone we reach 25, there are certain things we consider, that is not for us anymore. We do that, So we're taking all the practice to get old. But in some cultures, people continue enjoying
definitely.
Competing in the categories.
Definitely.
So I think that is nice.
Yeah, definitely. So, but I'm quite happy, that, I always say that there was a time when, we were not considered among the greats in track and field in the Caribbean. And now Grenada is probably ranked, I would say, probably about maybe third or fourth, or fourth maybe. You have Jamaica, you have the Trinidad, you have, Bahamas, and we are right there, and years gone by, that was not something, you would hear about. So nowadays at events like these, Grenada's name is in the conversation.
In the Caribbean, our name is ringing. I think as it relates to gold medal, we
are in the conversation.
Top of the line, population. We have not been able to fill that for our reality. I think when we are able to do that, that would really, really give us, the level that them. I would say Trinidad as the Olympic, we ride there. But on the other level, like World Champs and some of the other games, Trinidad would send in and field in a relay team, and we have not been able to
do
successfully.
That. Yeah.
Once we are able to do that, I think we are going to be ranked.
But that's why we need to come out of retirement. Man, yeah, if you know, we good to go. I mean, because we can't. The thing is, Doc, we can't look to places like Guava and so to make up, because I mean, you know, they're not in that. So we had to do what we can, and even though we old, you know, but we don't call. We didn't think. You know what I mean?
Why? That one, I won't support you with that one.
You're afraid of it.
Yeah. No,
well, nobody point it. Yeah, but he's just one man. I mean, he's just the one king. I mean, let's give him that. He's the one king.
I mean, that y'all running your mouths on me, but thank God I did not hear anything of much of what you guys said. So I don't even have a rebuttal, and I don't care about that, Lisa. I don't care.
Good night, Miss Sam.
We said Kirani is king, you know. That's how we were just talking about the king Kirani. You know? That's what we said, you know.
Well, you don't need to say that he is king. Just put the title in front of his name and say King Kirani.
Doctor.
Why you think you need to make that announcement that he's king?
Dr. King Kirani.
That's right. Doctors by two.
Mm-hmm.
King Kirani.
What?
Zeno James.
Doctors by two. That's a new one.
Anyway.
Yes, so Godfrey.
I guess you didn't realize that it's not him.
Something went wrong with your audio there. We lost you for a moment.
Yeah, but then I headphone there. I didn't want to hear all you for a while. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. No. We kind of back down already. You know, we rest case. You know, we right now we tail between the legs. So what are we gonna do?
Keep it there.
Yeah, definitely. So, Doc. Well, before we hit the topic, we had to let the lady say good night. She have a nice bodice. I like that bodice, girl. Where you get that bodice? That nice bodice here, you know, nice color and thing. Yeah. You're muted.
Reece, mute.
You're muted.
A blouse I'm wearing.
That blouse? I thought that bodice. Why is that bodice? Why is that? So why do you have a blouse and a bodice?
I don't know. Ask Doc. Doc is supposed to know that.
That's what blouse and bodice is.
Well, me, that one is not my area of specialty.
It's not me what say though. It's not me what say. Everybody say you are the research scientist around here. You're Doc. So do your research, and we expect next week Thursday you will tell us the difference between a blouse and a bodice.
Right, yeah. Dr. Doc. Dr. Doc. So Reece, what is the word for tonight, or the phrase for tonight? Because Finley ain't come.
Oh.
He's sports jumping up. Say he coming late.
Yes, I think I read that, you know. Give me 2 seconds. Let me think about that. What? When we say, well, it's not a phrase, but when we say, all you don't know, me Lara Lou. What I mean?
Yeah, Doc.
What we say? What is it, Reece?
Lara Lou.
What is it? Lara Lo?
Yeah, Lara Lo. Yeah.
Lara. You don't know what they call the thing?
No. Milada Lo.
You know cheddars?
Yeah. What is it, Lara Lo?
Well, I know. I find it mean.
Is that similar to being cockroach in front foul?
Well,
yes.
Maybe, but I am thinking. My mind is, if you ladder low, maybe you hear me, you easy to get vexed?
No.
You ladder
low.
Okay.
Well, let me go ahead, Godfrey.
No, that's what my mind was, but the thing about cockroach in front fall, that sound kind of plausible too.
No, ladder low, it means that everybody feel they could pick on you, like Milada low. So you feel you could climb on me. Me.
Yes.
Right.
Me, you feel you have strength with.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
Yeah. Okay.
Me, you feel you have strength with. So you're picking on me. Yeah, Miladaldo. So climb me.
Climb up. Yeah.
Climb up because Miladaldo, it means you could reach me. Anybody could reach me. So me or Strength. Go ahead.
Yeah, Doc, I feel you have it. Definitely.
Sometimes like my ladder don't even have trader. So I didn't mind us. You all don't want to climb. Just flatten.
But
just walk on.
But you see between me and you don't have that, you know. I mean, because you don't need, well, not you don't have that. You don't need all that.
Or is it that I need ladders? You come last.
What? No. Wait, why you need ladder for?
Well, all you don't say a shot. I don't.
Well, yeah. So why
No,
you
that one is
need
not
ladder? So
physical.
why? So that's why in the context.
Don't conflagrate. Why is it what I can even say it? Don't confuse it in. It's not about a physical thing. Miladalo has nothing to do with physical.
Well, no, I understand, but what she's saying in that case she need a ladder, but in the context she need a ladder because she don't know already. Anybody could just jump up and just do what they want. It's only she mouth that bad, you know, nothing else. You know? Anybody could just jump on your chest and do.
I know how to choke.
You know the choke?
I know how to choke. I know how to choke.
Yeah, but you see, no.
I know how to. What he has spoken about ups is ups.
Yeah, ups.
Yeah, but Reece, you can't ups, you could only dongs. What are you talking about ups? Reece, hold on. Let me set you straight. First of all, I agree that maybe you know how to choke. But you can't choke nobody because to choke somebody, you have to choke them. The choke has to be up by the chest and thing up there. How are you reaching up there?
Yes, I have arms. I can stretch.
Yeah.
That's why I think we should go to the topic.
I'm choking you on screen, right? Choking you. I'm on the screen. You're kind of on the low side for me, eh? So I'm choking you. I'm choking you all in your head.
Anyway, yeah. So guys, tonight we're discussing Saraka, which is an integral part of our ancestral heritage, so to speak. Yeah, and tomorrow, Doc, La Poetry will be hosting their annual Saraka. So, but Reece, you say good night to people yet, man.
I'm so sorry. Good evening, and that's it. Let's get this right, okay? Don't make me have the people who are all about the English and the times and the appropriate greeting for whatever time have to be calling you guys to tell you all to do better than that. It's good evening. So I'm saying good evening to our listeners, our viewers, those who are on the virtual space, and those who are in front of the radio and the TV. Good evening to you. It's always a pleasure being in your company, and we're looking forward to a lot of contributions tonight.
Yes.
Because this is a topic that is very close to the shimmering head of Doc. So, you guys need to call and make your contributions about, he says Salaka, Godfrey says Saraka.
I said Saraka?
You said Saraka.
No, I make a mistake. It's Salaka.
It's Salaka?
Yeah.
So I need you guys to tell me why some people say Saraka and some say Salaka. I've always wanted to know that. I thought Salaka was a Tivoli mispronunciation as usual, because you guys have that habit of mispronunciation, malapropisms, and that kind of thing. So I just want to know if it's another one of your mispronunciations, or if the correct pronunciation is in fact Salaka.
All right. So on this note, we are now going to hand over to Dr. Doc. Doc?
So, you're right again, good night, and we would start from where Reece left off. Now, literally all over Grenada, we have emerging in different villages, festivals, food festivals, and people are referring to it, a lot of people are referring to it as Saraka, lately Saraka. Now, the word originally used was Salaka. Now, Salaka or Saraka is one and the same. So if you say Saraka or Salaka, you are actually talking about the same activity. I believe if you say like on our side of the world, you say long mango, or you say Calivini in Grenada, you are talking about the same mango, same type of mango. So again, so Saraka came from mainly in Nigeria and to a certain extent the Sierra Leone. So the word Saraka was mainly a Sierra Leone word, or the word Salaka mainly a Nigerian Yoruba word. It actually came mainly from the Yoruba, the Igbo, the Wolof people that used the word Salaka. Salaka basically means thanksgiving, to give alms, right? In Grenada, the word Salaka was mainly used in the northern part of the island, as far as from Mamacan, Union. There was this close to Union. What is the name, please?
Tilleries?
Not the next one.
Walker?
No.
Ladig?
Ladig was a kind of more
Monkey
area. It would come.
Di Blando?
Post Royal.
Union, Post Royal, yeah, Olympic.
Post Royal, yes. So what you find happening Post Royal, to a certain degree, Union, Maki, of course, Carrier, Tivoli, La Poterie, Livera, Montreach. People would remember those words being used often as Salaka. That was the word of our ancestors. That is the word they had. As a matter of fact, the word Salaka came from Grenada, went as far as Tobago becoming Salaka, and to a certain extent in Trinidad. But we must admit that in the south of the island, places like Willis and Bouchejou, Belmont, etc., and in Carriacou, the word Saraka seemed to be more predominantly used. Yeah, so that is sometimes the confusion that is created as usage of this word. But Salaka was an activity that was brought on mainly through the Baptist faith. So you had people like the Mother Annie in Tivoli. You had Norman Paul who had a certain level of celebration. Norman Paul, the great spiritual Baptist named Norman Paul. But you had people like down in the south of the island, Belmont, Springs area. One day, Miss Baby Lou, Miss Louie, Miss David, Miss David in Maki. These people are more proponents of and use and had the feast. As I said, in the south it was referred to as Saraka, but in the northern part of the island, predominantly Salaka. And the Salaka is an Igbo Yoruba word that was used predominantly. There about in 1977-78, a Pisco came to Grenada and they did a sort of documentary, and they coined, although they used La Poterie, they then named the event Saraka. From that time, in the northern part of the island, the word Saraka started spreading a lot, and the Pisco was ably assisted by. They went to the school, Tivoli Harris School, now only Tivoli Harris School, and they were able to get assistance from one named Bernard Elizander and Angela Peters. So from there, the word started spreading. But what again really is Salaka? Salaka is a feast of thanksgiving, saying thanks to the bountiful harvest, saying thanks for life after a season, but also looking forward, saying thanks in preparation for the next season. So one, you praise what was past, but you also give a sort of anticipation of what you're hoping to achieve. And so what was done in our African tradition was to ensure that the children was fed. And in the absence of many cutleries, what was used was blogger leaves. So the food was cooked and it was shared on blogger leaves. But even before I go to blogger leaves, because it was a community activity, it was expected that people in the villages would contribute, family, friends, those who would bring yard fall, of course, green peas or dried peas, pigeon peas, yams, Some people grew their own goat, who grew sheep, who had the pigs, and these people so would contribute that to the salaka or the Thanksgiving, right? And when the food is cooked, it is shown as a sign of appeasing the ancestors, saying thanks for a bountiful harvest, or having anticipation for a better season to come. The children was fed, and the children was fed on the leaves, and later on the elders would eat thereafter. Now, I don't know, Godfrey, if you knew, but in at the Salaka celebration, what used to happen when you have all the food, they would have a libation. So you would have a libation, you would pray on the food, you would bless it, and then you would prepare the cooking. And when it is cooked, a similar thing happened. I remember as little boys, children would gather. So when the leaves are spread, the children would gather in a line. They would wash their hand in a bucket of water. They would be given something you call taddy, and then they would go to their space, and food would be shared. And then when the food is shared, you are expected to stand up, and when the food is shared, you then eat.
But the taddy was given after.
So the taddy was an appetizer.
I don't think so.
With a little sweet.
No, was sweet water with rum in it?
A little alcohol. Yeah.
It was after the eat, man.
I don't think. Well,
somebody may call, but I seem to remember. I seem to remember because
after.
Yeah, and let me tell you, the story behind it was after that the children eat. It sort of, the idea was to get them to kind of go away so that the adults now could have their time and do whatever they need to do. That was the story I kind of picked up. But,
Let me see if somebody would call.
I stand corrected. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. So basically that is how it used to be. Now salakas, and I would just make that the last point and then open for comment before I made anything. Mm-hmm. Salakas were there were basically three types. I mean, somebody could add an next two, and we could actually do that as we go down. Because it came mainly through what we call the Baptist people or the Shango people. There was one type where they had the sacrifice, and on the feast, 3 days of feast, they would have the salaka on the Friday where they would feed. They would open up for children in the community to go and eat. And at some time, some of the food, they would go to the waterway, usually a freshwater area, and they would offer that as a sort of offering to the water spirit, right? So that is one form in how salaka was done. The second one was someone would get a dream, and they would say that, like their life is being tied up also, so they had to have an offering. They didn't basically used to call it salaka, but it was the same procedure. They would have an offering in order to appease whatsoever thing that went wrong in the family. So that was the second one. And again, that used to be done in a big yard or in an area considered as a playing field, but basically in a big yard.
Yeah.
And again, it's the same procedure. Everybody would come together, etc. For a matter of fact, that method of having the salaka was a precursor to the community. The community then come together, people would cook in different homes, and now they would bring it in one central area. So like in Akochi, it would be in Akochi Pass. In River Sally, it would be in River Sally Pass, plain field. And in Carrier, it would be in Carrier plain field. So they would bring a tray. Everybody would bring something from what they cook and bring it also that the children can eat, right? And so once that happens, then they can have their own sort of sharing and feasting in their home, in the yard. So that the community salaka starts spreading in a lot of different areas, in a lot of different places. I learned lately that areas I never thought had salaka they actually had some places like Montreach. Liberia was a very, very big area at one time too in having salaka. So, Godfrey, I think I've been saying a lot. I've been talking a lot. I don't want to.
No, well, between me and you just started talking, but we are going to we have a call.
I have a lot more to say, but still.
Let's go to the telephone. We have a caller on the line, so let's get them involved. Oui Culture, good evening. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, good evening, caller. Good evening, caller. Go ahead, please.
You listen to you on the radio.
Hello. Good evening, caller. Go ahead, please. All right. So the number, folks, is 435-2041. And when you call, please turn the volume of your radio or your television down and listen to us on your telephone. All right, that way you won't be confused. So once your call goes to, turn the volume of your radio or your television down, and then you can, talk with us. Let's go back to our telephone. Oui Culture, good evening.
Good evening, caller. Go ahead, please.
Okay, again, call us, please. Just remember to turn the volume of your device down, and then you can make your contribution. Let's try again. Oui Culture, good evening. Hello. Good evening, caller.
Yes, good evening.
Yes, go ahead, please. Yeah.
Yes, I was very happy to see Senator Michael Mitchell, better known as Senator,
right,
in the news tonight, because we did have, and many people think that St. David didn't have anything cultural, anything going in St. David, but we had Saraka in St. David. It was promoted mainly by a family headed by a man called Sudio Bagwan, the Bagwan family, the great-grandfather of P.S. Isaac Bagwan. And they had the same ritual of cooking food and putting it out on leaves, and the children of the village came and ate. Then that got mixed up with the Shango people, and they had an animal killed and a lot of food cooked, and it was a big sharing of the food to the villagers. Somehow, the church had to take some blows for that, because it was the church that said that this thing of people, because one of the things they used to do when they killed the animal, they used to have put the blood in a calabash, and they used to let people take a little sip of it. And the church did not like that kind of a thing with this blood drinking and so on, and that killed the Shango dance mainly. But we did have Saraka in St. David, and it is same principle. Food was cooked, shared out on leaves, children of the village came and ate, and it went on with a lot of drum beating. There was a lot of drums made from the goat skin, and all of that went on just as how it was in other parts of the island. But sadly, it died out. It died off in St. David's very, very quickly, and there is no remnants of it as far as I could recollect in the entire parish of St. David, which is a big parish, the third largest parish in the country. And, but that's.
Godfrey, I want to know which part of St. David's he is referring to.
Mainly by the Providence side. That's about mid St. David.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
All right. Thank you, caller. Thank you very much indeed. Mm-hmm. Yeah, for your contribution. Yeah. So the number, folks, is 435-2041, and just a reminder, when you call, turn the volume of your device down and listen to us on your telephone. We have another caller on the line. Let's go back. Oui Culture, good evening. Hello.
Hi, good evening. Good evening.
Yes, good evening, caller. Yes, go ahead, please.
Good evening, folks.
It was very good to hear Doc speak about the Salaka. I'm from the north of the island.
Is that Jude Bernard?
Yes, it is, Reece. Yes, it is. Yes, it is, Reece. You're Jude Bernard, my Reece.
Yeah, I know that voice from anywhere.
Yes. And I could tell you, if my father was alive today, he would be 128 years old. And he's someone I respect very much in terms of language, and whatever he said has always proven to be correct. And his name for it was Salaka.
Uh-huh.
And as a matter of fact, Salaka is not just African. In Greek,
Islamic.
it means abundance. So it may be a word that is universal. It has European origin as well. It's not just African origin. So the Saraka may be, you may want to say it's a sort of corruption, or I would say a change that has taken place in the word. When I grew up, we were forbidden to go close by for the same reason that the previous caller mentioned, because my parents were Christians and they did not believe in, that sort of thing. But my father always spoke of Salaka. It happened in Riverside. It happened in other villages close by. My father was originally from Riverside. His mother was originally from Riverside. So yes, it is Salaka, and the explanation you gave is right on target. And the Saraka is just change. But you are right, and it's very good that you have come and cleared the air, because I'm hearing a lot of people talking about Saraka, and people are actually trying to correct folks when they say Salaka. But Salaka is even more than African. It's Greek. It's a worldwide term which speaks about abundance. And it calls for celebration and the sort of festivities that you outlined. Thank you very much. Very interesting program. Good night, Reece.
Yeah. Thank you, caller. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, Doc, we have to we had to move to get them to fix that.
Well, that is what our effort. We are making effort from where I stand, from the Grenada Cultural Foundation, to ensure that Salaka become a word that is being used, because it is the word of our ancestors. And so we, in all our documentations now, we're actually using the word Salaka to ensure that it is, consistent with honoring our past. But our next area I probably would like to highlight that traditionally, we would like to use, I mentioned some of the food earlier on, like the peas, the yam, but it was based on get as much as you can from the land, from what you can produce, and bring it as part of the offering, yeah? So we don't have enough food that we couldn't just use bananas and blueberry and plantain and breadfruit. So we have dumpling. So we use so at the provision, we had the dumpling with the breadfruit and blueberry and bananas and plantain and thing, dashing sometimes cook by itself dry. But you also have pea soup. And in the pea soup, generally you put no other meat except saltfish. So if somebody is a quote-unquote vegetarian, they can eat in the pea soup. And the pea soup, growing up, you only use dumpling in the pea soup. So you used to have a pot of pea soup, and it was only saltfish. That is generally what it used to be, the custom. And you have rice. You have rice and peas. In the older days, it used to be our peas, meaning the pigeon peas. These days, you see black-eyed peas, you see split peas, you see different peas, rice and peas. And then you have white rice. You have white rice by itself, and then you have white rice that was cooked but roll up white rice. So they make it into a ball. These are some of the staples. You also, Salaka, you must have cuckoo. So cuckoo was actually a must in Salaka. And then you had the other things. So you could have pumpkin, you could have callaloo, I don't think you use things like beans, etc. Hardly any vegetables. Most times, you hardly have any vegetables, like salad. I don't know if anybody would call to say they do that.
But let me just make a look at just a thing here. Just as you mentioned the foods, and just sort of looking back on the, how it started, in terms of the celebration of abundance and so. In days gone by, well, of course, you didn't have things like these beans, and it was the heavy stuff like the provision, the yam, the potatoes, corn, things like that. So it could very well be because of that. I'm just thinking,
But even now, it is not. You don't really see that much. In Salakas, you don't see
because the tradition I think
is tradition, yeah.
It's like and I think that's maybe one of the reasons why it doesn't have Salaka in Guav. There's a fish and thing in Salaka. They just give people fish to it.
Yeah, I was watching the timer. I see 9:18, and I say, let me see how long they're gonna go on with Tivoli. Let me see how long.
Boy, Reece like Tibet so much.
With Tivoli. I hear you had a village roll call just now day with St. Andrews. Is what village you're trying to put in Dockmouth? Ahoma. This, that.
No,
you're just calling, right? Because you need tonight the program topic should be Tivoli. Yeah? Because two Tivoli man just decide, y'all will behave as if, thank God the man from St. David's call to say it at Salaka in St. David. Thank God Mr. Jude Bernard call, right? But I want you to know, as much as I wanted tonight to be the night we are course all you up, and tell all your real thing.
But Reece, you're so biased. I mentioned Livera, I mentioned Montreach, I mentioned River Salila, Poetry, I mentioned Bouchejou, Willis, Belmont, Springs, Carriacou.
But you were predominantly talking about North. Like everything originated from. Don't try to twist it up now. Carriacou and I'm gonna like a side thing, right? And we're gonna talk about Carriacou and the Maroon Festival and how similar it is, right?
So,
right? But
can I finish? Can I finish talking about my food?
Because you see, we had almost
your volume going.
Times, right? Thank God for these people in the call. And as I was saying before, as much as I would have liked tonight to be a night where I just curse all you and tell all
but curse for what?
I had to put my tail between my leg. When my mother, on my way home, I call her to find out how she doing, and I tell her, well, tune in, they're discussing Salaka. I don't tell them already, Guav people does not eat on block olive and ground. We are kings and queens. We just eat on table with fine dining and things. She said, Reece, I had to stop you.
What did your mom say? What did your mom say?
Well, you're not forcing anything out of me, I didn't rush.
Did she remind you? Did she admit that there was Salaka in Guav at one time?
I did not rush you, but guess what? Before I get into that, you did not mention Guav. You did not mention Guav because you don't know anything about Guav. You is Salaka expert, but you don't know about Salaka in the days before the revolution and all that, right? Where Salaka used to happen in Guav. Yeah? So she stopped me because I'm young, right? So she stopped me and she said to me, you remember Miss Monica? Yes, I remember Miss Monica. Miss Monica was that woman that used to organize the Judas on Good Friday. As children, remember I tell all you about that? As children, we couldn't do it, but we used to watch those other children had fun on Good Friday with a stuffed Judas parading in the streets of Guav, and everybody have a piece of wood in their hand and stone, and they beating Judas. That is something that used to happen in Guav. It had stopped for a while, and that's why start back again. Somebody else is doing it, right?
That is the same lady what sell pigs and us noise?
As I was saying, Miss Monica, Parbone's mother, yeah? Longette and them grandmother, yeah?
What do you call so?
I think it's grandmother. This woman used to organize. She used to organize Salaka in Guave. The same thing we talk about feeding the children. Watch now the blogo leaf and thing.
In Guave?
Yes, something.
In Guave, they eating blogo leaf. You see?
Yes. Yes, why are you so shocked? I said as much as I would have liked to cost you all up and tell all you we don't eat on grung. I have to admit that we did eat on grung too, right? So we haven't had that in donkey years, right? And from what my mom told me, she said Miss Monica died after the fall of the revolution. So a lot of things had died with her because she was pivotal in the Monica Judas and the Salaka, right? She said part of the rituals that they used to have, they feeding the children. That used to happen on the back street, that is Edward Street. And sometimes it used to be on Guave Bay. Sometimes it used to be on a hill called Mammy Hill. I think that's Mungo Road area up there, right? But she said something else that they used to do. They used to go by the riverfront where the sea meets the river. And they used to feed the fish there because it was said that some of the fish from the sea, they came up to the land, you know, to lay the eggs and stuff like that, right? So they used to feed them there, and there was something important about feeding them. It has to do with abundance. It has to do with almost like taking care of your own, like giving back, so that the more you give, the more you will receive. Things will come be replenished in abundance and stuff like that. So as much as I wanted to tell all you, fine China, we don't eat it, and on nice table with table linen and stuff like that, I had to put my tail between my leg because Salaka happened in Guave as well, and it seemed like it used to happen many years ago. So
but hold on.
So I'm saying all this to say, when all you introduce all the program and all you talk about all your Salaka and whatever, all you sit down there as if like you're all the authority on Salaka, and that nobody else except up north had Salaka, and that is not true. The West had Salaka, the East had Salaka, the North had Salaka. I can't talk about the South. You know, they kind of mix up down there.
But you had Salaka on the carnage, you forget her?
You had Salaka on the carnage?
No, Godfrey.
But they had Salaka on the carnage a year.
They had food on the carnage.
But that was Salaka, they say was Salaka. They say was Salaka.
So Reece, I did ask if there was Salaka in Guave and who you could point me to.
Don't try to.
And then you clearly stated
like you cared about what was happening in Guave.
But
This is not the first time we're doing the Saraka program, you know. We did the Saraka program already and all the run all the mouth and Guave people, you know. And since then I tell all you we doesn't eat on ground. We doesn't eat on blogo leaf. Since then I tell all you that, you know.
Anyway.
But anyways, I got educated tonight. And for all you know, Saraka may be starting Guave too. Yes. Everything good does starting Guave.
But hold on. I heard you say something that I need some clarification. You say fish used to come up on the land and lay their eggs.
No, I never said that.
The tip man.
No, I said they go where the river meets the sea in the mouth, and they would throw food there. It was actually an act of feeding the fish, because what my mom said is that there are fish, like this is a salmon in them, the fish that leaves the sea and makes the journey up the river to lay their eggs. That's what I said. I didn't say lamb.
Hold on. I will get it tape in them. I will get it tape and I will send it tomorrow. All right, good. Anyway, Doc, continue.
Somebody said he was trying to get you. I don't know.
So anyway, we have a caller. So let's try. Let's try and see if we get that caller. Oui Culture, good evening. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, good evening, caller.
Good evening. Good evening. Godfrey.
Hi.
Doc, Reece.
Yes.
Yeah, but we had Saraka in Brushgrove too. We had Saraka up at in a Delphi pasture. In the days of Mr. DeGale, they used to kill a cattle, and that used to be ball and dance. And the same way you have food and they share on blogo leaf right around the playing field. Up to last year, Thanksgiving Day, we had Saraka in Adelphi. Adelphi is a Greek word meaning the brotherhood. However, I like the one on the waterfront, man. We had a lady in the Borden called Miss David. So she used to do the saraka in the garden, but come up in the lake and put the bread and the cake and all the big four leg and thing in a calabash and used to sail in the lake. But there was a boat on the lake. So when they left and they thought that the mermaids or the mermaid as we call them in those days was eating the sacrifice they left on the lake, the guys from the community went up in the lake as soon as they left and ate all the food in the calabash they left on the lake. So this freshwater sacrifice has been there a very, very long time. So it's an African culture that spread throughout Grenada.
Right.
And how you know the word? Carla?
Huh?
You know the word as, is it Salaka or Saraka? How did you know it in Brush Grove?
Salaka?
Salaka.
Salaka, and then after...
Godfrey, you know who's talking?
Oh?
You know who's talking, Godfrey?
That is not the partner, eh?
Yeah, the partner didn't come on the program.
The gay right fella? Scholar. Scholar coming back here.
So Doc, and to follow the Salaka in the Adelphi pasture, they had dance and they had dance down at the St. Joseph Society Hall. We have the community center now in Budge Grove, and they used to call that ball and dance. Was a whole day, whole night thing, and people came from all over the island and came into Budge Grove for that activity.
Right.
You know?
Right. Lovely. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah. But Doc, I have a question for Reece.
Yeah.
So, I mean, while I hear what you say about Saraka and thing in Guav, or Salaka in Guav, so they used to eat the food on Black Olive and thing too? Because let me tell you, I am a little confused here because I know guava don't have blogo tree and fig tree. That doesn't go in guava. So what you say the tree on mango leaf and thing or breadfruit leaf?
What do you know about guava? What do you know about guava?
A lot of things.
I probably need to give you all some kind of temporary visa so that you all could go and spend a little time in guava. But it must have an end date because like most people, when all they reach all they don't want to stay. So I'm going to give all you like a temporary visa with a strict Trump-like warning, ice guava to throw all you out after all you spend all the time. So all you can learn about guava, right?
So
we are surrounded also, right? While we are the fishing capital, we are surrounded by many lush green villages that produce. Okay. We can talk about Maran, that village that is stolen by St. Mark. Yeah. We can talk about Clogier. Yes. We can talk about Florida. We can talk about Monk's Granby. Right? You sit down there doing your Tivoli roll call and you feel.
But Mongrambi but we see only mango tree have in Mongrambi, mango palma.
You're talking about only mango tree. When you used to go there is mango tree, they used to bring you up.
Why never used to go up there? But I know you have mango tree. Listen to me. When you drive in after you pass New Low, Palm is going to be. As soon as you go up a little hill, only mango there and this mango and them fall from all up Mongrambi and they roll down, you know that. So don't bother with what you say there.
So Godfrey, you and Reece, let me say. I just want you and Reece like going through with what I wanted to say. So okay, I'll this is my train of that. So we were talking about the food and the meat and the different meat and things. But in modern time, lately, you find that some of the food, some people have all kind of different things. So a matter of fact, some guys have guana and iku. And some people actually have, you were asking about fish. Yeah, fish is basically used but reserved. So fish is not given to the entire populace. It's generally for special family members that have an issue with eating other meat. So it's usually cooked, put in a special place. And one of the choice meat though, well, the most popular meat is chicken. But you have chicken, but there's a next area we have what they call yard fall.
Well, that is what I was just about to tell you. You have to make that differentiation.
No, but today yard fall is the layers and those hard.
You call them yari. It's not yard fall. It's yari.
Yari. So it's not the original yard fall, but that one is a must. is a must in a real salaka that have what they call the yard fall. So they had one, right, and of course turkey, everything goes like that. But as I said, you have some guys that are special now. They use, some of them have crayfish, they go and get guana, they go and get, and of course
I had crab at the river.
and they have crab. Now crab is a real delicacy in salaka. So sometimes they have it open, but some people they would have some for the special friends. And next thing that goes really, really fast, meat is pork. I think we're really just like a lot of pork. So there's a lot of pork that is served in the salaka.
But I find salaka just pork and chicken straight.
What you also find that usually coming to the end in the late hours, they have they would have an island, a big pot of island. That one again usually goes fast.
But that's a new thing, right? Because oilong was never part of salaka before.
No, in earlier time, I don't think oilong used to be, but now we have oilong, and the thing has changed. So we have some places right now, the three main places that keep up what I would say salaka with an idea of how it used to be close to the traditional one is La Poterie, River Sally, and to a certain degree, Carrier. Carrier salaka is referred to as a bashilaka. Bashilaka because they have coined the word calabash, but bash with laka, salaka, so they call it bashilaka. But what they use is calabash as much as possible, calabash. Even the traditional areas have now added some modern twist to it. So before I go to the modern, how it was done in the northern hemisphere, we see, is that after the feasting, you have the drumming. So you have the big drum. So they would play the bongo, the bell, the calendar. And that was not something widespread. As far as I'm concerned, widespread ingredient, it was not. Except it was used mainly when it was done by the Baptist people, what we call quote-unquote the Baptist people. Then they would have the drummers and they would use the drum. Modern trend is, of course, guys use music now. And you go to La Poterie, you go to River Sally, you may quicker see a banner. From another fact, you might see Apache, you might see Shatney, you might see, as part of the entertainment, you might hear Steel Pan, you might see Tivoli drummers doing a performance, you might see other groups doing a performance. So that these things have been added as part of the evolution of what takes place now in those salakas. And the salakas now mean that people from overseas, companies, government institutions, politicians now would give food and do things and pay for things in order for people to cook. Unlike that, like how it was done before, where it was a total community effort and the community had total control of what was taking place.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I'm rushing certain things because I'll be mindful of time. I know we want.
You're not rushing nothing. You're doing a good job trying to sell your saraka and nepopinot, your salaka and nepopinot. You're doing a good job of that. What I could tell you from my experience, it is a very big lime. It's a very big lime. Yeah, it's a very big lime. Some people dress in traditional wear, like some people wear African wear, while the majority are in our Americanized clothing. I'm yet to see a calabash, but plenty of disposable stuff. And I know that because a lot of requests are sent to companies asking for cases of chicken, bags of rice, a lot of disposable things.
But disposable wares, like
plates and all of things,
yeah.
So it has become more of a fast-paced, easier cooking kind of and distribution of food kind of thing, and to me less of the ceremonial or traditional way of doing things and eating and stuff like that. And maybe those things happen earlier during the day, but from the time sundown, to me, it's a fit.
Yeah, because you had a band thing to sell to make our money.
It's a very crowded fit. Yes, yes. Young and old, it's a family thing. So you find people from all demographics show up there. I went to River Sally, Salaka last year, I think it was, and I like the coziness of it. I like the intimacy, like the streets are tight, traffic back up like crazy and stuff, but I would not trade that kind of thing for an open field where there's all this room and then the ambience and the community spirit is not necessarily there. I'm one for keeping things traditional, even if it's a bit inconveniencing at times. So I like that. I'm happy that, the Salaka that we started in Guelph, you guys have, up north, have, done a very good job of keeping the dates and the activities alive. And when next we bring it back, it's going to be so big. I want to give you a Trump party. It's going to be so big, so big.
Bigly?
It's going to be so big.
Reece, we have any comments on our Facebook page?
Yeah, we have a bit. Most people were saying good night. Yulin said, Godfrey, long time me and hear this word bodies. And let me see where. So Aisha Darawil had quite a bit to contribute. Mostly phrases, but I'm going to tell you. She said in Maron on Beauplan Estate also, that's where you have lush green vegetation filled with, all the ground provision and over the ground provision. She said St. John is the best, well, of course. She said she added crayfish was also part of what is exhibited in Salaka, or shared. Lamb, Brigo, she said, before wild goat.
What?
Violin for entertainment. And she said Saraka to work land. I don't know what exactly she's alluded to, but...
No.
I think that's maroon.
Walking the land used to be maroon.
Maroon, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Right.
A collective walking of the land is maroon, or they used to cook for that.
Yeah.
So she probably confused that a little, but the things are very similar. At the end of the day, get the moral of the story. St. John is the best. Go through.
Yeah, St. John, Brio. Yeah. All right. Guava. Well, I want to ask you if Guava Brigo, because many things in the sea, Guava have it. So
We have it in human form too.
all right. So, folks, the number is 435-2041. You can give us a call and you can make your contribution to the program. So Doc, I take a pass at you now. I don't interfere you. I interfere Reece already. Let me interfere you now. Reece, I said just today about after the food and thing. Basically the people who cook, they just have drumming. It's not the people that have drumming. Tivoli drummers that's going all sarcasm blade. That's so don't bother with Doc and that. It's Doc and they're going to beat drum and not beat drum. When you say beat drum, it just vex. It's play drum. So we are doing, you can't say beat drum. We have a caller on the line. Let's see who's with us. Oui Culture, good evening.
Hello?
Yes, good evening, caller.
Is that Saraka?
Yeah, you need to turn the volume of your radio, your TV down, please, and listen to us on your telephone.
Okay.
Yes. Well, we lost the caller. Yeah. So folks, just remember.
It sounds like an elderly man. It would have been nice to hear him, but I guess he.
Just remember to turn the volume of your radio, your TV down, because if you have it blasting, it would kind of confuse you, and you're kind of not sure where to listen. Right. But Reece.
Yes.
Tivoli was the mecca of. You
were going to interfere with Doc.
No, I finished already. I can't interfere with Doc for a long week, but in Tivoli. So Tivoli was a mecca. And I mean, as a young boy growing up, at some point, almost every family would have a little soccer. It wasn't on the large scale like the village, but homes. And I think Doc made a point earlier where sometimes you get a dream or something, and then you what you call an offering. You make an offering. Same thing.
Right.
So, Doc, I know Nen Mary used to have Miss Dione. Yeah, definitely. Miss Louisa used to have. I remember once my grandmother and my grandaunt, they actually made one. Teeny and Tantan, they had one there. So people, a lot of it happened, in Tivoli. So I remember it well. And of course, La Poetry too. Individual homes, they would have their own little offering, as they call it. So Reece, that's where Tivoli Saraka mother. So just understand that. Yeah, definitely.
Watch me. I mean, I don't blame you. You need to claim something. There's not much that you guys can claim. The legacy of you and Doc being athletes and whatever, that has been washed out for a while now, so I can understand you. But you've been using a lot of past tense. Was the Mecca. Okay, we get it. You was the Mecca. It was what you knew. So, okay, it was the Mecca. Thank you.
Yeah, but Guav was, when it comes to soccer, you say even people in Guav don't even know about that anymore. Imagine you didn't know, and your mom had to inculcate you on it.
Yes, and I said to you, we did that, done that, and pack up that. You understand?
Okay.
You're still fighting to keep it there, but we've been there, done that, like pack up that.
My culture lady.
What?
Listen, let's go to the telephone.
Yes.
We have a call on the line. Let's go to the telephone.
That and pack that up.
Oui Culture, good evening. Hello.
Hey, good evening.
Yes, good evening, caller. Mm-hmm.
Well, a special good evening. Mr. Nelson, what's going on?
I'm good.
There is something they call Saraka and there's something they call Salaka. Right? Saraka is from the ancient days back in the, wherever we come from, the historic part, right? Where there you have drumming, food cooking, corn shell blowing, because in Salaka now, at 5 o'clock in the morning, someone going to get up and blow the shell. That declared the Salaka open. At midday, somebody going to blow the shell again. That means food cook, and we're ready to share. Then when you have the pole platin, and next shell going to blow, right? But then that called Saraka. And Salaka is where you have the DJ playing. Like what Reece talking about Guav a Salaka. Them not a Saraka. So DJ playing there.
We did not know DJ playing. Go ahead.
Well, this is not drumming. It is the word DJ what play, right? And Alton Davis, they don't have Saraka. They have Salaka because they have DJ. Saraka is more drumming, culture things going on, like what you see La Poetry have. You have the Tambo Bamboo, you have the Maple Platin, you have the Nation Dance. That's the called Salaka, right?
Caller,
Mm-hmm.
I want you to know, right, that while you call to give me all kind of talk.
No. Reece, I'm not giving you talk. I'm not giving you talk.
The two people that
because
giving support
I'm from Paul's, right? No, I'm from Paul's.
Giving support to the vex with you, because they don't agree.
No, but I'm from Paul's. I'm from Paul's, close to Nelson, right? So we know what they call Saraka and we know what they call Salaka.
Okay.
But caller, I think you have it. I think you mix them up, because you have to realize Saraka is, that word Saraka is, you could consider as a modern word, Salaka is what we knew growing up as little boys. The word Saraka came recently, and if I think hard, I could probably even recall the time when that word actually came into being. There was never a R in this thing. It was always Salaka. So I think it might be better to say Saraka is the one with the DJ and whatever, but Salaka definitely. And if you look at, because earlier I just googled the word Salaka, right? While it did not have anything food related, but it was relating to philanthropy, giving and washing hands, which is the meaning of the whole Salaka thing. Celebrating the harvest and the plenty and sharing. So this is the origin of Salaka.
So, Carla.
Yeah, but then you see what's going on now. We have two different, right?
Carla, you listening to me?
Yes, I listen to you.
So if you go and talk to them, older people in Pulse, if you are from Pulse, right? And Miss Etty and them, the lady that is, well, slightly dumb, her grandmother, those persons that used to have salaka, the word was salaka. If you go to some of the old-time drummers around, I can't them now, again, from Pulse, do the word salaka. The word that was used in the entire northern part of Grenada was salaka. And that is when there were drums. So if you're talking about drums and sacrifices, etc., people like Miss, I don't know if you know Rosa grandmother, those ladies and them, they used to have, it was salaka. So if you're talking about drums, that is when it used to have drums. Now, when you go in most things, you get DJ. So you can't change and turn around the word. It's salaka was the original word. Yeah.
All right.
So I'm giving you, Kala, I am asking you to go back and speak to people that are close to the 80s or late 70s in Pearls. And then, well, if you're from Pearls, you must know me.
I know you, of course, and you know me very well.
Then one day have that conversation and tell me what you find out. And I give you some names so you could check it out. Okay?
Yeah, all right.
We're sure going to check it out to Livingston.
All right, caller, thanks a lot.
All right.
All the best. Yes, indeed. Yeah, all right, 435-2041.
Doc, you should never entertain the caller talking about during our 1910 time in Guelph, when we used to have salaka. You should never condone the caller saying that is DJ, we don't have them, because you're supposed to know about specs. You're supposed to know about specs, right? And those other drummers are them. You supposed to know about that. And you know specs? Specs died.
But specs and them are young drummers.
What are you talking about specs and them are young drummers?
Spec and Larry.
Specs older than you?
Yes.
So how is young drummers than you all?
Oh, well, the time when I... Reece?
Oh, Lord. We have a caller on the line. I have a friend that caller from Trinidad. Let's go to the telephone. Oui Culture, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, caller.
Good evening.
Yes, we're hearing you. Go ahead.
Right. I'm calling from Trinidad.
Yes.
Saraka was around since Kim Hatchet was a hammer.
Ah. There we go.
All right.
So
Thank you.
Yeah. Before you go, caller. You said you're calling from Trinidad. Is it something that is done in Trinidad as well?
Yeah.
Okay, lovely. And same kind of communities coming together and cooking and sharing with children, everything like that.
No, not like that.
How is it done?
Like somebody will have it at their home. Right, and they just cook up and food on different kind of food and share for people. But not like how they have it in Grenada. You're going on big savannah and everybody cooking and not like that.
Okay, all right. Okay, thank you very much. Yes, we appreciate it. Yeah, good.
Thank you.
Godfrey, the last place they used to have that was down in Point. What is the name of the road? Something Fort Road.
Point 14?
No, down in Point 14. In Point 14, they used to have that, the name coming of the street where they used to have it. And I was surprised that they actually used to have what we call the big drum. In the 50s, 40s, 50s in Trinidad, they actually had on Edward Street big drums in Point, and they had a semblance of salaka also.
Right, but remember, I mean, it's only now, but according to scholar, before time, Trinidad and Grenada was very, very, was closely related.
One of the same.
And I'm almost certain that Tobago probably, it's probably something they still have in Tobago because, Tobago is even closer to Grenada than Trinidad.
I think those practices died both in Tobago and in Trinidad now, as we know it as Salaka. That community environment,
Right. Yeah, but the
Doc, I have a question. What is the Cultural Foundation doing to revive the Salaka in Guave?
Well,
Doc, I don't find the Cultural Foundation too not very Guave and
Is that a laughing matter for you?
Well, what we have been doing lately as it relates to Salaka is to so some of the information I'm getting, I got is by, of course, internal research here, but we also had at least around 3 persons, and I can give the name for authenticity. One name is called Kweti, he's an independent researcher that is attached to one of the library and museum in London. We had Ivan Bola, a historian that we consulted, and then we had Dr. Angus Martin. So when we talk about the word Salaka and its origin from Africa, it's not makeup. You might go on regular Google and you might get certain write-up, but they give a lot of more information because of the search engine that they can use.
But even, so I was looking at it, Doc, even Google takes it back to Africa.
I saw that too. Yeah. So we have that. So we're not making this up. And what we are trying to do is to say to all the organizers that, listen, yes, you are using Salaka, and we're not going to ask you not to, but we also want you to recognize the word Salaka is as authentic as it can be when you're talking about that Thanksgiving and that giving, we also try to ensure that we remain and we support the other cultural aspect and display. So the Cultural Foundation would give support to the tambo bamboo playing or even pan or something traditional that is taking place within the festival, and we give support to that. So part of what we are doing right now is educational, but also giving support to cultural activities happening within the various Salakas. We want to work with committees, so not just individuals. So, so we want, if you have a committee and things are happening, definitely. So as of now, we are working with 3, but also we recognize other areas. And there is one of the things I wanted to say, like Pulse and Telescope and Simon and Paradise and Monktrich and Hermitage. These people are having Salakas in their various places. I don't know if there is any in the town itself, in the south of the island. I don't know if it still exists in places like Bushiju. This, again, the investigation has to continue. But it is spreading a lot. And yes, it is not in the pure sense where we had the rituals and the libation and the trees are going. But me personally, has nothing to do with any organization or institution that I'm with. But me personally, I would applaud it because anyway, community can come together and do anything like that. I believe it is a wonderful thing because we have been departing away from doing things communally. So I welcome that. So some people may say that's not Salaka. And it's not for me to say because it evolves over time. And what it used to be in the 1940s and 50s is no longer so. As you see, people use paper plate, we are DJs. That was not so. So who am I to condemn? Now, the evolution of new form. But we try to pass the education and let them know, well, listen, that is the root, that is what it means. And as much as possible, try to stay true to form.
Right. No, definitely. I think the Cultural Foundation should push to maintain the word Salaka. While the actual execution of the event may vary. And there are a lot of reasons why, and we may not be able to change that. Because, of course, we probably don't have enough blogotry again. Moko went with some, all them things. So while a lot of things may change that we probably wouldn't have control over, I am definitely going to say to the Cultural Foundation, let's stick with Saraka. You know, let's stick with that. And we ain't compromising. We're compromising on other things, on the food and all of that, but let's stick with the name, because that is the one thing. The name is what is going to keep that tradition. You know, because you never know. Down the line, somebody else might come in with a name and call it something else. They might take out the R, the R and put something else. Yeah. You know, so let's definitely stick to the Saraka. Guys, we out of time. You know, so, and it was a good discussion, very, very good discussion, and I'm sure there's a lot more we can talk about. You know, I would like to hear a lot more about you know, what actually happened in Guelph, because I do have some reservations about some of the, you know, what is claimed to have happened. But nevertheless, it is what it is. Reece?
Be very careful, because that little temporary visa that I plan to give you all, it might not happen. So be very careful with your insinuations.
I don't make an insinuation. I don't come in Guelph.
You don't come in Guelph?
No. Next year. Hold on. Next year.
Let us get your entertainment.
Hold on, listen to me.
Too much time in Guelph.
I was listen to you, you know. You think I want to go and go next thing and stay? Never. Never. I don't come in. You want to say? Prevention better than cure. Next thing, I don't come in. I'm happy. You there up there already. I'm happy. I go talk about golf. But I ain't coming. Yeah. So anyway, guys, closing comments. So let me see if I can stick in that last call before we go.
Yeah.
Oui Culture, good evening.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening, caller.
Yes, good evening. I'm calling now on behalf of... Hello?
Yes, we're listening to you.
Yes, I'm calling on behalf of the Saraka, however they want to pronounce it. But I know in the 70s, that was the real Saraka with the meaning of what they're doing now. It was drums all the way. It was the people from Carriacou. And talking about Saraka, you're all talking about the country people in Grenada. The Saraka, the real Carriacou people, them that really have Saraka really going. And they used to come down in our village in Boca and have the Saraka. There was 2 people there that used to do the Saraka. And that was Saraka, where you sit on white sheets or you sit on palm leaves and you get your food to eat, you get your rice, and you eat with your hand. You're not eating with no spoon. You're eating with your fingers. Mm-hmm. And then certain days they will go down to the riverside under the bridge, and they will have their rice on their head with their baskets, and they're dancing going down the road, and they go and they say they're going and feed the spirit, or they're going and feed the mermaids or whatever it is. And then they come back up, and then they take a little rest. And it was pure drumming. It was more spiritual. And they will kill cows and lambs and sheep and goat and feed the people around, feed the village. It's not as this thing they have going on there, no, where people playing, doing DJ and having crab and fish. Everybody eating everything. Nobody didn't say they're eating fish. If you're eating fish, well, just eat the rice in your hand. And we used to have good time as little children. Next day we can't go to school because whole night we're setting up watching Saraka, and the people dancing and they're spinning around and they're doing all kind of things. So the spirit getting them, and they're like doing real thing. And then they go out in the road with the shack and everything, and they like, you know, they like blessing and say they're throwing out spirit and all kind of thing. That is what I know. I don't know about what's going on now with DJ singing and crab cooking and all this kind of thing. I don't know about that. But the real Saraka people, all they want to know, go to Carriacou and get a taste of it, and then come back to Grenada and talk.
All right. Thank you very much, caller. Thank you very much indeed.
You are.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like I said, I mean, it probably might be a good idea to talk a bit about what happens in Carriacou. If there's any difference between the what do you call it, the Maroon Festival.
Maroon.
Yeah, Maroon Festival
They call it Saraka, but it's usually they also say Maroon.
Right.
And in the Maroon, they have the rice and they do the same thing like what we do. What I only find
green corn dumpling.
What the lady just described there. I mean, I cannot doubt about that song like a Baptist activity rather than a Kariku activity. And you don't find the kind of drumming and the shack and what you're describing there, you don't find that generally coming out from Kariku. You find that coming out from the people with the Baptist faith. So I don't know. As I said, I cannot doubt but my interaction or knowledge of what happened in Kariku is not a strong Baptist faith like what you're describing.
Yeah.
So that is different, you know.
While we mentioned that, Doc, there was I must mention the name. But then Reece goes out saying now. But anyway, Leader G. Remember Leader G, Leader Gabriel?
Of course.
Right.
Yes.
Very renowned. He was one of the well-known Baptist
Spiritual
leaders.
Baptist.
Yeah.
Where was he from again? I mean, I know for up north. I don't know if he's...
No.
Guav?
Yes, Leader G was from... Well, let me not say Guav, but it's either St. John or St. Mark, one of them. But I'm certain it's one of them. I'm not sure exactly which one, but it's one of them places there. Is she smiling? Yeah. She glad. Anyway, Reece. Oh Lord, I tell him I never see why. Anyway, closing remarks. We are out of time, so Reece, take yours.
Throughout the program, I was kind of like realizing that King wasn't there. And I just feel King still over his pose. It's really dark and everything.
You don't know about that?
You don't know salakade to eat, so whatever. So he stay and he fully belly with sports. He loves sports. He loves sports. So and yes, of course he wanted to go there to see what is it that SAS is offering, because it's blows it all your clothes this year again. So I understand. But good program. I learned a lot. I am happy that I have my mother. She's still there to, I don't usually check in with her, but whenever I happen to be speaking about a program, she always have things, whether it's post the program, to tell me about all that was happening and stuff.
Yeah.
So I think I need to check in with her a little more, so that I can prove to you guys how it is that, the synonym for guava is originator of all things. So, that's it. Have a good evening, everybody.
I think
Valentine's Day is on Saturday. It's on Saturday.
Yes.
What did you say about Saturday?
I said Valentine's Day is on Saturday.
Man, Doc, you had the hands up.
Correct.
You had the hands up, man. Get that debit.
Correct is right.
Make sure you have that debit card close by.
I don't want no debit card. I want credit card. Money doesn't go on debit card.
I've already thought of hiring or chartering the helicopter service.
Yeah.
So
I know what that was, so you're good.
All right, so we're good to go.
I think I see somebody saying, Leader G, it looks like Maran, that they're saying. So yeah, that's probably it. Anyway, guys, so Doc, your closing remarks, and then we wrap.
So just wanted to say, I know that we really was hoping for more interactive night tonight, because I wanted to hear what people say. I'm satisfied with what I got from people. Callers that remember the word and even those that challenge what we were saying. I think it's always an educational exercise that we're doing. One, we would see what we think we know, but we also hope that the community and people outside would chew in a bit. So it was, in my mind, a very informative program. Is one I wanted to do. Unfortunately, we were unable to have the clips showing along. That hopefully when we upgrade a little, we can be doing that, showing the different sceneries that takes place. Just a final reminder, on the 24th, I don't know if we have a next one on the 24th of February, we're having drum moonlighting. And this one will be a really big one, bigly. You need to come and check it out. On the other hand, just want to say earlier on we spoke about sports. Intercall is coming. Reece, we are gearing up. I think it will be a good one for everybody. So have a good night.
Yeah.
Yes.
Godfrey, just before you go, right? I think there's a few comments that I should have read.
Yeah,
so
yes,
we had
yes,
Alexandra saying, blessed night to all. Yes, really, they should spread the culture all over the country because it's a cultural thing. Marilyn Bretcher saying, Saraka, I knew growing up, it occurred annually on first Friday after Easter, involving different parishes. They slaughter animals and cook outdoors over open fires. But was Easter Monday, rolled rice, ground provisions, pea soup, cuckoo, meat, pork, mutton, and serving food on fig leaves or calabash. Children singing, drumming, traditional dances like nation dance, and playing of instruments such as the tambu bamboo. River Sally Village draws a large crowd from across parishes. Then Alison Mathlin said, in Guelph, the Shango people held, I don't know if it's a typo, but he has Baraka. I think it's a typo, Saraka. In my days, Tan Jane was one of the cooks. The Doms used to put people on the spell. He also said Maran, Leader G is from Maran. Alexandra said happy Valentine's to everyone and stay blessed. And Marilyn said good night, happy Valentine's on Saturday. Bliss.
Yes,
that's it.
Yeah, yes, indeed. And of course, tomorrow, Doc, La Poetry Saraka is on.
Yes.
Yes. So, and then, and I think River Sally is usually, is it the Friday before or after Easter? April, yeah.
April,
all right. Yes. So folks, those of you who can, you're invited to go up to La Poetry tomorrow afternoon and enjoy some good traditional food. Doc is going to be there. Tivoli Jama is going to be there because they had a practice for drum moonlighting. So yeah, the only thing is every time you hear
there's a next group. So Godfrey, I don't want to give false advertisement. There's a next group that would be cutting. Today, unique dancers would be performing at La Poetry.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know. I don't think
Tivoli drummers know.
They always in Saraka, so yeah, and they had a practice. But the one thing though, every time they had drum moonlighting, you ain't seeing Doc in drum, you're seeing Kita for everybody else, but you ain't seeing Doc, so Doc ain't playing drum and he ain't dancing. So I know why they'd be doing. I know why they'd be doing. But anyway, Doc might retire. He might retire. Anyway, folks, thank you. Thank you all for staying with us. Of course, we'll be back next week for another interesting program. Do have a good night. And we're looking forward to seeing everybody in La Poetry tomorrow evening. All the best.
The Grenville Cooperative.
A little more calypso, forget the funk and the disco. A little more